Lots of stuff to talk about on today's episode of Broncos Country. Welcome into the Broncos Breakdown by Chat Sports. My name is Moose. Day 2 of training camp officially in the books, and we've got some big takeaways to talk about. Instant thought and analysis about what we saw from the Broncos on day 2 of training camp. Now, before we get to that, guys, 23 days. That's it until Broncos versus Cardinals. First preseason game. And this is why you have to hit subscribe, my friends. We're going to cover Broncos football all season long. That includes the preseason game, which we will be live for. So if you haven't already, lock us in. Hit that sub button for free Broncos content. Let's start with the first major takeaway. At least something that I noticed. It's probably not something that a lot of people are talking about amongst the media members at Mile High. Bo Nix's release looks incredibly faster than it did last year at this time. So I went back, I did my homework, started to do the deep dive into the analytics. Bo Nix's release time in 2024 was 2.98 seconds on average. Now you might be thinking, that sounds ridiculously fast. Well, believe it or not, that's not even close to top 10. The fastest release times in the NFL in 2024 were Joe Burrow, Russell Wilson, Baker Mayfield, Aaron Rodgers, Daniels, Carr, Mahomes, Jackson Love, and Geno Smith. So he doesn't even come inside of the top 10 because the top 10 are all under 2.5 seconds. Now, when you consider that half a second could be the difference between a complete pass and an incomplete pass, you have to realize that that's got to be your mechanics. So you've got to be able to clean up what your mistakes were. It also could be a processing thing because if you're not reading the field as fast as you could because you're too much in your head, that could be another reason that your release time is a lot slower. But here's also something that I noticed. Bo looks like he cleaned up those mechanics. He has a quicker, tighter release. His arm strength has never been an issue. But instead of winding all the way back, it feels more compact, like he's bringing it back to about shoulder width. It cocks back and he fires. It looks like a more confident release. It's quicker, it's smoother, and he's doing less with more, or more with less. That's the way I meant to say it. He's doing more with less. So he doesn't have to reach back to fire deep. He's just right here, boom, ball's out. And I feel like that's going to lead to a lot more accuracy and a lot more completions heading into 2025. This also could be because of what happened and what was reported yesterday by Zach Stevens, which was Bo met with Drew Brees during the offseason. And at first, when I first heard this, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. He went and picked Drew Brees' brain about some things. But I'm sure, and you can be sure as well, that those two football nerds probably got out into the yard, and Drew Brees was showing him a thing or two. Drew Brees is one of the smallest quarterbacks in Hall of Fame history, right? He's not an inch above 5'10". So he had to learn how to get the ball out quick. I'm sure that this was the result of the Drew Brees meeting, or at least some part of it, where Brees was showing Bo, hey, this is where you need to live, right in this little zone right here, this green light Goldilocks zone. So at least to me, from the film that I watched, Bo's mechanics look a whole lot smoother. Now, before we do that, we are going to take a quick word from our sponsor, Brunt. Broncos Country, it is time to upgrade your work boots. And that's where the great Marin design from Brunt comes into play. Not only is this unbelievably stylish, but it's incredibly comfortable as well. My old former work boots, they didn't offer any style or comfort. And now, choosing new work boots doesn't mean I have to sacrifice comfort or durability, because Brunt built tough boots that feel great from day one. I'm talking no break-in, no sore feet, because people out there doing the real work shouldn't have to choose between comfort and durability. Brunt's best-selling Marin work boots are not only built for the toughest job sites, they are completely waterproof. Whether it's rain, mud, standing water, your feet are going to stay dry. But here's the cool thing. Brunt isn't just about work boots. They offer a full range of high-performance gear built for tough jobs. From heavy-duty work pants to weather-resistant jackets, Brunt designs durable, reliable workwear to keep you protected and productive in any condition. Brunt was tired of the workwear brands out there cutting corners. You work way too hard to be stuck in uncomfortable boots that just don't hold up. So they built something better. Boots that are insanely comfortable and built for any job site. For a limited time, this is really cool. Our listeners get $10 off at Brunt when you use code CHAT at checkout. That's C-H-A-T. Just head to bruntworkwear.com. Use the code CHAT and you are good to go. And after you order, they're going to ask, hey, where did you hear about Brunt? Do us a favor, tell them the folks at Chat Sports and the Broncos Breakdown sent you. One more time, code CHAT, C-H-A-T, to get $10 off at Brunt. When you use code CHAT, go to bruntworkwear.com. Second big thing that I want to touch on here is Quinn Meinerz talking about the run game. If there's one person or unit that I want to hear about the run game outside of Sean Payton and the running backs, it's the offensive line, the hog mollies up front. So Quinn Meinerz was asked point blank about the philosophy of the offense heading into 2025. And he said the run game has changed a little bit this year. Well, yeah, no duh, because we have a lot better additions to the run game. So my take on that was, it's got to be more of a speed emphasis, doesn't it? Doesn't it feel like that there's that new breath of fresh air around R.J. Harvey, who's young and quick, and J.K. Dobbins, who has a whole lot more talent than Javonte Williams ever did? And then I started to think a little bit more. I started to deep dive into it a little bit more. And I'm thinking to myself, well, it's not just speed. There's got to be a power element as well, because the left guard middle, that A-B gap, that was a terrible spot for running the ball for the Broncos in 2024. And then the outside as well. I mean, that right end was abysmal. But Harvey's going to change that on the outside. Number one in Division I football with 8.2 yards per carry on outside runs. And J.K. Dobbins, that north to south speed that you're going to look for, he's going to take care of that bulldozer element that you're looking for. This Broncos running back room is so much better than it was at this time last year. I think all Broncos fans can at least agree with that as well. But Quinn Meinerz also said something that made me want to run through a brick wall. A lot of people have been sleeping on us, he said. And look at his new look. He shaved the dreads. I think this is an all-business Quinn Meinerz, who is, by the way, one of the best guards in the entirety of the NFL. He wants to even take that a next step further. He wants to be one of one. He did it last year. Will he do it again? Make an all-pro. Yes or no? I got to think yeah, right? He was the first one since 2013 on the Broncos team as an offensive lineman to make an all-pro team. So we can't take it for granted, the additions and the help that he's brought to this team. But I do think he will absolutely make an all-pro team in 2025. Last major takeaway, Talanoa Hufanga's excitement for this team. I think it's understated along, the lines of talking about football, where we have to remember these guys are men, they're people. So their emotions play a big factor into the game. And Talanoa Hufanga straight up came out and just said this: I think this is one of the best places in the world. Doesn't that just make you love the guy even more? I mean, to say it's one of his favorite places and best places in the world says a whole lot. And I don't think that's him, blowing smoke up the reporters', asses. I think that's a legitimate, truthful, heartfelt statement. So I can't wait to see what he's got on the field. Because when he's at the top of his game, he's also an all-pro. Now, I know everyone's going to be like, oh, he's not hurt, so don't mention it. But injuries do play a part of his game because of the style of play that he has, which is hyper-aggressive, ultra-hard-hitting, just like Troy Polamalu. He modeled his game after Troy. So clearly, this is something that he wants to bring to the Broncos without sacrificing the understanding of the playbook, which, of course, he's been caught up to speed on because Brandon Jones has helped him learn the playbook and allowed him to play lightning quick, which is what you want. You want your defense playing fast. Get out of your head. Offensive stuff, that's cerebral, right? That's on time, play on script, understand positioning. Defense is more reactionary, right? And that's where Hufanga excels, is that reactionary style of play. But you also want him to make sure that he knows what he's doing. You don't want him roaming around there like a chicken with his head cut off. So Brandon Jones has easily helped him step into that role of understanding the playbook. And all of this at least leads me to believe that the Broncos are no nonsense this year. Not that they were no nonsense last year, but they really believe they're building something special. I think they're building something special. And I'm so happy that Broncos football is back, especially the defense. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch, don't you think? And if you're excited, hit that thumbs up button for me. Super easy, helps grow the channel, and shows you support the Denver Broncos. That is going to do it for us on today's episode. A reminder that if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so to keep up with the latest and greatest surrounding the team. And as always, be cool.